Hey guys, this is Phil from TheCubicle. Welcome back. Today we'll be unboxing and showing you the GAN 15. So, full disclosure, this video is super delayed because this is actually our second time filming this unboxing. The first time we did it, the product actually had a lot of problems and we were not able to finish the video. So we told GAN, talked about it with them, and they made some last minute changes to the product, and this is what we have here. We're hoping that this is a working product that is problem-free. Let's take a look. So this is the new packaging. It's really awesome. Really like the color. GAN always makes really nice packaging. We'll take out the things. This GAN pouch is the same. And then we have the cube and the accessories. So let's take a look at what we got. That's pretty cool. This is really interesting. We haven't really seen this in a GAN cube before. We'll explore these later. Let's open the cube. And here we have alternate magnets. That's pretty awesome too. Let's do some first turns on the cube and we'll see how it feels. Yeah, it feels good. So this feels very similar to a GAN 12. It's definitely not like the 13 and it's definitely not like the 14 or the 14 Pro. The piece-to-piece contact on the inside has this really nice tactile feel. So it's quick and it's a little bit on the looser side, and it has this really nice feeling on the inside that really reminds you that you're cubing on a nice GAN. So that's very different from the 13. The 13 I felt was smooth to a point where you couldn't really feel each turn. And I kind of personally, I got lost in the turns. The 14 was tactile, but it had popping issues. And the 14 Pro was just so fast that I couldn't really figure out where I was going. So this feels like a really grounded attempt to improve on the GAN 12 sort of design philosophy, which is really cool. And as you can see, the centerpiece here does not have a center skirt, whereas these pieces have a center skirt. So I'm really excited to try them out and see how they impact the cube. Before that, let's open it. Oh, that was pretty cool. That came out fast. Yeah, like the unboxing we did previously, we couldn't even use this tool because it got stuck. That was really smooth. So I think GAN did fix this. Good job, GAN. This one has 2 numbers, so we can refer to the manual and see. The inner number here, the one sitting at the top, is center travel, and the gear in the back is tension adjustment, and you can use the GAN fire hydrant to adjust those settings. And if you look around on the cube, you'll notice that it does not have adjustable magnets, so you have to put them in yourself in the corner stocks in order to adjust the magnets. The green is the strong magnets, blue is the light magnets, and I assume what's inside is neutral magnets. So before anything happens, let's just do some solves on this cube and just see how it performs without any of the adjustments, and then we'll bring in the adjustments. Can you stand up on your own? Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's very light. Very easy to use. Sometimes you wish your cube was lubed, but for this one, I'm actually liking the natural tactile feel. It feels really good. Yeah, the M slices feel good. No really big problems with locking or popping or anything. Yeah, out of the box, this cube definitely is on the looser side, and it's pretty quick. If there's any problems, it's gonna have to do with overturning. But you could tell already that it's a really nice cube and that it's kind of on the side of the GAN 12 and not the 13 or the 14. And I'm really excited to feel what it feels like with these guys. So let's install these. There we go. This is the one without the center skirts, and this is the one with the center skirts. You can see that it forms this square shape on the bottom. We often joke like MoYu is making cubes more like GAN, and then GAN is like secretly designing MoYu cubes. This type of center skirt is more commonly found in MoYu cubes. It'll be really cool to see how it feels. Put this thing in here, this thing here, and then we'll fasten it. Great. So I imagine it'll make it even more tactile, which is gonna be really exciting. I think this will further differentiate this cube from the 12 because the 12 has a straight centerpiece like this. And so I think that's a really cool move on GAN's part to make it even more different. Yeah, sometimes, you know, I complain that I can't be bothered to like make mods or changes to a cube, but this one I'm actually really excited about. Like, the Peak Cube drove me crazy, if you guys remember that one. I saw the stuff and I was like, dude, I'm not motivated to do this. But this one, I'm really curious, because the cube itself already is pretty nice. So, let's see here. Let's set everything to 2. Right. Let's set the gear to 4. Right. Right. I'm gonna do a few more, but I'm gonna adjust it to 2.5. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with my performance on that Z-perm. Now I can't do the Z-perm. Cut that one. So we installed the new centers and they're really interesting. I think obviously it introduces a trade-off. The cube is more stable and more tactile, so it's more fun, but also because there's more material there, there's a slightly higher possibility that it locks up if you don't turn really well. I can't decide what I like better. I'm leaning towards these that come with the cube, but I think I need to spend more time. I don't think that either of them is bad. And it's actually a very fun experiment to do because you're actually changing the geometry of the cube, which is pretty fun. It's not a minor change, and I'm really glad GAN did that. All right, so one cool thing about this cube is that it is $70, and that's kind of a weird thing to say it's cool, but it's much cheaper compared to the previous GAN cubes, and so I think GAN is moving in a good direction. I think this might have to do with the lack of adjustment features built into the cube. Like the magnet adjustment feature is really just a plug and play type of feature. I think this is a lot more consumer friendly than the previous versions, and it's a better cube, so I think GAN is definitely moving in the right direction. The other thing about this cube is that it's so extremely light, it's unbelievable. So I brought my scale out to show you guys just how light this cube is. I think it's gonna be in the 60s. It's gonna be wild. Wild. 60 grams. Whoa, 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 59 grams. I'm gonna say it's 60. Oh, no. I have a GAN 12 right here. The GAN 12 is 68, which is also really light. Like, GAN cubes are in a class of their own when it comes to weight. Yeah, these are just so unbelievably light. That's awesome. All right, so new GAN flagship, special occasion. So just as a treat, we're gonna let our guy out of the practice dungeon.
Hi guys, this is Tymon, out of the practice dungeon. The new GAN is here, so I'll do some solves and tell you how I feel about it. So the GAN 15, first of all, is extremely light, which I really like for practicing. So even if I'm not using it as my main cube, I'm probably going to be using it a lot to practice, because that way I can practice more, since my hands are not getting as tired. Currently, I'm using the GAN 12 as my main, but I'm considering switching to the 15, because it turns really well and is very smooth. I really like that GAN gives us the extra centers. It pretty much gives you 2 cubes in one, and it's fun to play around with. The centers with no skirts on them, they're a bit more like the 12, but both are really nice. I'm going to experiment with using both of them. I used this cube at my first competition after the European Championship, which was the London UK Open. And in the second round there, I got a 4.79 average, even though I was using a new method I was not comfortable with. So clearly the cube is also viable in competition. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick review. I'm going back to practice now.
So now for some product recommendations. If you've never owned a GAN before and you want to experience a really nice GAN flagship experience, I think this is a good choice to go for because it's the newest GAN cube, so you'll know that it's the expression of their latest technology and design, and it's not as expensive as the previous cubes. So this is definitely one to consider. If you're moving from other cubes, just know that this cube is very light and it will take a little time to get used to, but once you get used to it, it feels awesome in your hands. And as Tymon mentioned, it's a good practice cube because you can just keep solving and not have to worry about, you know, turning a cube that's heavier. Some people don't have that issue. Some people do, like myself. I'd rather practice on a lighter cube because I am old and I can't turn as much. If you have a 13 or 14 or 14 Pro and you weren't completely sold on it, I think this one will be a nice refresher because it is genuinely good and it's much better than the previous iterations. And of course, if you have the GAN 12, you should evaluate whether you like the 12 or not. The 12 is still very usable in competitions, and people are still setting records on the 12. But this cube is pretty adjacent to the 12 in terms of design philosophy and performance. So if you're kind of bored of the 12 and you want to try something that is similar but different enough where it has its own character, I would hit up the 15. All right, well, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And of course, we'll be making future GAN 15 content on our channel, so stay tuned for that. We might have a surprise for you. And as always, you can get this cube on thecubicle.com. Check out the link in the description, and we'll catch you later.